3 shows in one day. Oh boy. This is the wrap up. And if you follow the shows today, you'll know that I detail sanded this and got 2 coats of clear on it. And that was the tinted clear. And now it's I'm back in my little closet, and we're going to continue sanding, because that's what it's all about. It's about sanding. Let me see if I can get it better. Why is this zoomed in so much, I wonder? I don't know. Let me get this up here so you get a better overview of what's going on. Okay. And I'm also going to do the, I'm going to try to do the video critiquing. Well, I got some deep scratches in this, and it's going to take some work to get them out. So let's get after it. That's about the only way I'm going to get it done, is get after it. But it's starting to turn white already. Pretty smooth. It's got like a big deep scratch there and a gouge there. Might mix up some superfill and fill those. First thing to do is get it sanded, of course. Let me get my sandpaper. You know, a lot of people think that this stuff just magically happens. Well, it doesn't magically happen. It takes a lot of work. And a lot of this. So let me see if I can find my little block. That wouldn't matter because I just make a block. Here's my little block. Little foam block. Gotta get that off of there. Don't want to grind any metal shavings down into it. Buenas noches, Brazil. ¿Qué onda? So I'm just I'm going to weigh this stuff up for you too, to tell you how much it gained with 2 coats of dope. Takes about 1 inch of dope per coat out of the can. 1 inch. Man, I love the smell of that stuff. Not quite as good as Aerogloss, but still enjoyable. When I was a kid, I used to paint in my bedroom, and we would have dreams like you can't believe. So it looks like it's going to have to, I think I'll use that aqua green on those. Those are really small, but I'll do it after it's tissued. So that's how fast that sanded up. We're not shaping anything. I'm only taking off the high spots of the dope, the clear, because maybe tomorrow evening we'll be tissuing this. I have a 5-hour drive ahead of me. but I'm going to stop at Dan Winships and drop off the Christmas giveaway. So I don't know how long I'll spend there. Herbert, ¿tú tienes un avión? I think they speak Portuguese in Brazil. Close to Spanish. Kind of like Cuban. I hear Orestes talk. I got problems. I don't speak Cuban. It's close to Spanish, but I'm going to have a problem there, it looks like. But I better wait to get it hard before I do any reshaping on that. Yeah, it's coming out pretty nice. Except for the normal little buggers everywhere. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You guys got any questions on my finishing methods? When I talked to Jim Lynch, he said the magic word. This is it right here, sandpaper. These parts will be sanded probably at least 10 times before it's done. That one goes on this side. You know what? I'm going to mark these so that's 2, 1, 2. Well, you don't really realize how rough they are until you get them under the light and can look at them. Out in the garage, they look pretty good. In here, under this bright light, they got some. They're going to take some work. Okay, this started with no dope on it. Started at 2 3/4, 2.8 on John's scale. This scale here, 2 3/4. .05. So we're right in line where it's supposed to be. And this started out at 7 grams. Yeah. Now it's 10. picking up a shine already. Some deep scratches in it. Should have paid more attention, I think. We might be using some of that lead sled primer. Gary Sinclair, if you're watching me, I can't use those drawings. I thought I needed them in JPEG, but I need them in PNG, something that's transparent. Because every time I change the color on the shirt, I have a white square. And I've been trying to get them straightened out, but I can't figure out how to do it. Okay, let's see what this weighs. This was 11 3/4 ounces before we started. This has the most dope on it. Twelve and a half. So 3/4 of an ounce in 2 coats. Twelve and a half. As long as this wing is under 16 ounces with everything on it, you know, finished, ready to go, I can build the airplane at 48 ounces because I've done it already. But that has to have the silk span and the dope and everything on it ready to go. Let's see, I need that little block. What do I do with the little block? You guys saw me that those tracing videos yet? Can't feel it. That's good. There's that little block. See, I needed to. Good evening, Greg. I needed to harden this all up before I started really getting after it. And that's what the dope does. It hardens up the balsa wood. Otherwise, you're digging a hole in the balsa wood as you're taking off the superfill. There'll be much sanding going on here. I can tell you that right now. And if you guys will find me those videos of the, I don't know where they are on the forum. I don't remember what they're called on the forum, but the tracing of the flights from the Cleveland contest, we'll talk about them. I'll play them and we'll talk about them. I think I can do that without getting a strike. Well, it's going to take a bunch of superfill on that to make it look good. I spent time over John's today cutting in these corners really nice too. That's close enough for the first sanding of that. Like I say, there's going to be many, many, many more sandings of these parts. As what I'm doing is I'm building the finish. You know, these first coats kind of fill in the lows. We keep knocking off the highs. Go watch any windy video and see he does the same thing, only he uses way more paint than I do. Way more paint. You build a 20-pointer if you wanted to put 10 times the amount of paint I'm using. But if you do my finishing method, you're going to get a 6 to 8 ounce finish. Now this finish already added, let's see, 12 and a half, 11 and 3/4, 3/4 of an ounce in 2 coats. And that's not the biggest part of the area. The biggest part of the area is the tissue. But the thing is, on my finishing method is the diet. If you don't stay on the diet, you're you're defeating the purpose. Seven and 3. You guys want me to even try to do them videos or what? About the flying? Or would you rather just watch me sand? This is the most boring part of the whole job and the most work. Oh, you were looking for the videos. Yeah, they're in the open forum somewhere. I can't remember what they're called. Post a link to the channel. And I'll pull them up and we'll run them on my OBS. And we'll discuss how the airplanes fly. Maybe not so much the patterns, but how the airplanes fly. Good evening, Gary. Hey, Gary, I don't know whether you heard me, but if you could, I'm having a heck of a time. those things that you sent me for t-shirts are JPEGs. I thought that's what I needed, but I can only do white shirts with those white JPEGs. So I need them in PNG, something that's transparent. I was working trying to figure out how to convert them to PNG, and I don't have the software to do it. I'm using Inkscape, but I can't figure it out. So if you could take those and convert them to transparencies, I could get them on the shirts. I got all the templates ready to go. And I know that the guys want different color shirts than white. Let me know if you heard that, Gary. Let's see. There we are. Oh, your phone went out for a moment. I need those shirts or those designs in PNG, Gary, not in JPEG. I can't figure out how to get the white out of them. All I can get is white shirts if I don't have a transparency. So I need them transparent. I got all the templates ready to go. And I'll be damned if all I can do is a white shirt because I don't have I thought I needed a JPEG, but they're PNG. Something that's transparent. So we can change the color of the shirt. Sandaholic, huh? Yeah, I sand. I mean, the only way this stuff gets done, the only way is if you stand there and do it. Because it ain't going to do it itself. And make them all PNG, please. The only way that it's going to get done is if you sit there and do it. And it ain't like I do like doing it, but this is the hardest part of the model build is the finish. And we are finishing the model now. Just as I've stated in my bio, finish starts with the first piece of wood cut. And you ask, what does that mean? Well, when you cut all these joints to fit perfectly, you don't have to put any fill in them. So do your job and do it right. Life's a ball, TV tonight. We have a good fit on that. There's just a ton of work to make these airplanes and to make them nice. It's if that's the right video. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's the right video. I'm talking to you. I need PNGs. All those designs are great. I just need them in PNG so they're transparent so we can change the color of shirts. And I'll get them all up tonight because all the templates are ready to go. All I got to do is drop the file on them. But I couldn't figure out how to get them swapped over to transparent. And what we're talking about, guys, we're going to have t-shirts as soon as I get the files from Gary. He's done up a bunch of really nice shirts. If you look at the thumbnail for this video, that's one of Gary's designs. I think I've used a couple of Gary's designs for thumbnails. I can do the thumbnails, I just can't do the shirts in a JPEG. Now here's another thing. On these cap strips, you want to take a fingernail file, sandpaper, something. You want to round these cap strips over. You want to break that edge. Otherwise the covering looks like hell. So just a couple of strokes, on each time you put a coat or sand them. And the edge on, like right here on the trailing edge. Right along here. Leading edge the same way. So it's going to get one, maybe two more coats before the paper goes on. And all this sanding is necessary because we're detailing out everything. A dope finish is just a lot of work. You want a good one. I can already see that it's getting white though. I bet when I do the two more coats on it, the whole thing will be white. And like John said, I don't know if he said it on camera, he can hardly wait to see the look on everybody's face when this wing is white and there hasn't any white paint on it, just white clear. And like I say, it's 1/2 pint of paint to paint an airplane. That's the little can, the one that's that big. Not that big, that big. That's all the paint you get. You ain't getting a whole lot of paint, that's for sure. Let's see. I guess I got this long block here I can use. want everything pretty flat. How much clear have I got? You get 1 quart for everything. You get 1 quart unthinned for everything. That includes your top coat. So you start out with it, and you put 50% of that, so you get a pint, and you put 50% or fill it up with thinner. So now you have a quart of thinned clear. You tint it with white, like I've done here, and you use that as a substrate. Then you paint your color, 1/2 pint, and your trim, and then you have 1 quart of thinned, so it's a pint of clear thinned to make 1 quart, and that's all you get. So you get when you buy paint, you only need 1 quart of clear to do a whole airplane. You don't need gallons. But the only way that it gets done like that is from what I'm doing here, is the sanding. What I do is the art of painting without using paint. We're basically, I had a real bad habit of painting. I wanted my airplanes to look like Windy. And for a while there, in the beginning of the 2000s, my airplanes were pretty porky. I didn't care. Then after my Thunderbolts that I thought were light, which they weren't, talking to Bill Warwick, I had to come to reality. My airplanes are just too heavy. So I went back to the old school way of finishing from the 60s. 1 quart of paint. But it takes a whole lot of this. So far today, I'll put in 5 hours sanding. Don't be lazy. Put in the work. Okay, so we got, this is pretty close. Before the covering goes on, all the seams have to be perfectly flat. You can't feel any of these. Otherwise, it'll show up. If you can feel them, you can see them. And trust me, it's better to fix them now than it is to wait until after it's all painted and you have to go around and fix everything. It's a dire pain in the butt to do it that way. Oh, I made the piece over John. Well, I made a piece, then John remade the piece for me because it's his lathe. I'll show you what I was talking about on the reverse cone. A lot of people, they have different ideas on how to do this. And, you know, this is not really that important a part, but the way that I do this, it does work. So I might as well pass it on. Boy, I got some buggers there too. Okay, we got a wingtip weight box here. I'll try to bring it in. Let me get it apart first. And if you remember, I had a hell of a time getting the screw to go in it. I could not get the screw to screw into the darn thing. Now it's like falling off a log. Yes, 320 is what I'm using now. I won't switch to finer paper until after it's covered and other dope is on it. 320 is where I'm at now. Okay, if you look down in that hole, this piece right here is a funnel. It's a reverse funnel. I mean, that's basically all I can say. So it's tapered down. So when you drop the screw in, it automatically pushes it into the center. That's just a piece of dowel. It started out, all he had was like inch dowel, but we turned it down on the lathe. And now getting that screw in there is simple. Go ahead, make a liar out of me. You don't have to fight out of the field. Just stick it in there and go. Let's take the doors off here. Make sure I didn't glue them shut. Which of course I did. This could be a disaster. Put it together before it dried, so now I might have a problem. Yeah. Best to get them apart now, though, instead of, there we go. Had a little bit of dope on the edge. I'll break that edge there. When you're doing doors like this, always break the edge, because the dope will crack or flake off the corner if you don't. There we go. Got that one fixed. Go to the other side, make sure it's good. Oh, can't see what I'm doing. I had to relieve this door because it got some dope down in the edge because I put it together before it dried. So I had to cut around the door opening just to relieve the dope. But always break the edge on these doors. It's up a little bit there, so we need to do what here? Swelled up a little bit. Oh, man. All this has to be done before the paper's put on. Everything has to be pretty much perfect. But can you see that it's starting to look white? Part of the mystique. That's stuck in there too. Yeah, I got it. So what I was talking about is break the edges here. You don't want to round them over, but you don't want any sharp edge. Because this all when it gets tissued, the tissue goes down to the bottom here. So you have to leave about a 1/16 of an inch gap all the way around. Otherwise, there's no room for tissue and paint. I'm happy with this. I mean, it's got a few problems that gonna be lots of work, but they're always work finishing. If you're not willing to sand, then you better use some automotive paint on it. A dope finish is not for you, but if you're willing to sand like if you want that look of a baby grand piano, the way that lacquer looks on there, this is what you got to do. I bet by the time I'm done, there'll be 500 hours sanding. Maybe 400 hours sanding. So think about that. How long is that? That's 40 hours a week for 10 weeks. Or the way I do these things, I've been building 1 hour a night, 1 hour a night to get it this far. And now that we're on to the sanding part, where it's kind of just repetitious and droning on and on and on, I put in the time. I'll put in 10-hour days. I'm headed back to St. Louis. Unfortunately, I have to do a bathroom, so I'll have one day that they'll have to work on the bathroom, but I'll be back to this for 10-hour days. You get this sandpaper on Amazon. It's 3M 316U. 320 grit sticky back sandpaper. I also buy, I think Amazon ought to give me a cut. I also buy sticky back roll of 80 grit, P80. You'll see it when you look that 3M paper up. It ain't cheap, but this roll of paper will last a year, so it'll do 3 or 4 airplanes. Same with the 80 grit. So we've been on 48 minutes. I got 12 left. I'll be right back. Had to use the facility. Couldn't hold it any longer. Okay. Anybody find that link to those traced videos? like I told you, you can feel a whole lot better with your fingers than you can with your hand or with your eyes. This here needs some attention. Yep, gonna need some putty there. Some putty. I think we'll mix up a little superfill and go around and spot all these places. So I had the superfill and I was mixing it in this. See if I can find a razor blade. I know I got some, just a matter of where in this shithole. I guess we can use a knife here. A little knife blade. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to mix up a little superfill and go around and hit all the spots. Again, this is the third time. That way, by the time I get to St. Louis, everything will be dry. So we're going to need about that much, and probably not that much even. And I don't want to overmix like I did last time. That's why I had such a problem. I overmixed hardener, and it set up rather quickly. So we only want about half. That's about half. This will be a good contrast to show you the difference. Where's the paper towel? There it is. Show you the difference on the superfill color. If you don't think that the white tint dope has made a difference, because all this superfill that's on this airplane started out this color blue. So, see, you see all the superfill color on this? It all started out that blue, but it's been painted over with that tinted white or tinted clear. So now it's just about white. Make sure you get this stuff mixed up real good too. You don't want to And I'm going to need a razor blade just to use as a trowel. Okay, where are you? I know you're here somewhere. I don't want to use a great big trowel. I want to use a razor blade. There they are. Nope, that ain't them. I guess I can use this. Rather use a razor blade, but we use this piece of plywood. Can't spend all day looking for a razor blade. So the first thing we want to hit, now remember, this super fill here started out that color right there. So you get to see the difference. Okay, good enough there. So do you see the difference in the color? White, light blue, and then light and darker blue. See, I had a spot over here. And let's see here. If trace. I don't know what. There's a link. There's a whole thread in Stunt Hangar about the trace videos that were done in Cleveland contest. I don't know. I don't know what the guy's name was that did it. And I probably should know, but I don't. You know, I try to know each and every one of the forum members. You know, not know them. I know many of you personally, but I try to have a conversation or know what type of airplane they fly or what. But there's 7,500 members, and it's hard for an old guy like me to remember all that crap. CRS is just now starting to set in on for me. So it's tough. So it's on YouTube. Got it off the Stunt Hangar forum. Yes, where's the link? Send it to me. Send it to me on Stunt Hangar in a private message. And I'll look right now. And we'll see if we can't get it going. Man, I got boy, there's some big gouges there. Come on, get in there without a problem. Come on. It's aggravating when stuff don't want to work. Well, I should just slip right in there, no problem. There it is, finally. See, I'm working off this light that I can see now. There's a lot of scratches in this that are going to have to be dealt with before the tissue goes on for a nice finish anyway. And this light is a whole lot better than what I was using. I can see. Of course, it helps to have the good glasses on too. Okay, like I say, I'm going around and checking everything. This is the bottom side. We'll do the bottom side first. The guy that I'm emulating, this airplane, Tom Warden, was such a craftsman. I can't explain to you what kind of craftsman this man was. Anybody that would take a one hair on a paintbrush and paint bloodshot eyes on a pilot has some serious issues. But that's the kind of guy he was, and a perfectionist. So in order to do him justice, this has got to be nice. I mean, it can't be a rag. And I will do whatever it takes to make it nice. That means boring you guys to death? Well, that's the way it's going to have to be. Now what I'm trying to do here is get the superfill on super light. I don't want a big clod that I'm going to have to dig in to fix. I just want a nice skim coat on the spots that are screwed up. Now here on this flap, I got an issue. with the hinge pocket. So I got to straighten it out. And where I added the piece, I need to fill that in. So this might have to be a little bit thicker so I can cut it back. We'll see. That'll take some work. I'll have to get me some women's fingernail files to do this. Of course, this gets covered with paper, but if you use the paper to hide your mistakes, when it's sitting in the sun, it'll suck down, and those mistakes will jump back out at you. So try to fix the mistakes before the paper goes on. That's better. I have to take and cut it straight. Not bad. Not bad. That fixed it up real nicely. All right. Thank you. It doesn't look like we're going to get to do that tonight, but at least I'll have the link and I'll give it a test to see if I can do it. Because I've already put in my 5 hours today. As soon as you get me those PNGs, I'll get a shirt posted up. I'll put the link in the description of this video when the shirt goes up. I'll also put them up on Stunt Hanger. The link. This is really getting picky. But okay. See, that was blue there, but it's white now. If you look there in the center, that was blue. Remember? It was blue, just like I'm putting on here now. And it's white now, or tinted white. And that's all from tinted clear. So that means that it takes less paint to paint the airplane. And it doesn't matter what color you painted it. If I were painting it orange, it would take less paint because because white is a good base for everything. Now, used to use the light gray primer, but it took more paint for to go over primer to hide the gray. This is by far a superior method. Let's see here. We have a little spot. Had a little spot, scratch like spot, grain or whatever. And after these three or one more, and then through 4 more coats go on, we'll switch to spray. There won't be any more brushing. I'm not sure that it wouldn't behoove me to spray after I get the paper on, but I don't know. Spray the clear substrate on the paper instead of brush. But you want to get some paint being built. So the only way to get paint thick enough to sand is to brush it. Yeah, I'll wait on that little spot right there. So I think I about got them all. Until I put the covering on and they all jump out at me and go, why didn't I fix that? Let's see, there was a spot on this that I needed to fix. A couple of them. And let's see here. Yeah, John pointed these out to me. There's a couple spots on the edge of these. Let's see, I had some deep scratches in here. Might as well get them all. They'll all be dry by tomorrow. Now, normally I don't go this far out with this. I just go ahead and cover it and use aqua green spot putty. But this tribute airplane, I want an extra special finish on it, so we're going to fix all the buggers. No matter how long it takes me, and it could take a while. Now, Tom Ridman is flying the last Continental tribute airplane I built. He loves it. And this will look more representative of what the Continental looked like because of the shape of the wing. The other one had a high aspect ratio wing. This is low aspect ratio. Like I should have done the first one, but I didn't. So whatever. Superfill is a whole lot lighter than acrylic green, so come on. Try to refrain from doing this, and I'll tell you what's going on. I'm putting these up because I really didn't pay close enough attention on the fit. If I'd have been paying a closer attention on the fit, I wouldn't. Well, maybe, I could have possibly used less of this little spot putty. Plus, I stayed on the heavier grit sandpaper a little too long. It's got some scratches in it, so we're already into the finish end of it. I don't want to reshape it, so we'll just fill in those scratches. So what I'm saying is, I didn't pay attention. Made a mistake. But for the amount of superfill I put on this, it will gain no weight. Maybe a gram. I think there was one of them right here too. Yep. I knew I remembered one of them over here. Do you guys enjoy seeing exactly what it takes to make these? You know, where I've shown every step of the process, no matter how long it takes. I mean, this is all unedited raw footage of exactly what it takes me to do one of these airplanes. I make a mistake, you know about it. Unfortunately. But there's only one guy who was ever made not to make mistakes, and I ain't him. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Looks like we got them all. Yeah, let's see here. I think this stuff is starting to set up. Not smoothing out real good. Yep, that's it. That's the Bob Ross and Eric Brin. The Bob Ross and Balsa and Eric Brin are streaming. Thank you very much, Frog. Hour and a half, so I've got 6 hours on today. The one-man show. Of course, John, it's always nice to work with John because then there's somebody to feed off of. You know, we can talk back and forth and share ideas, so on and so forth. So anyway, that's what I got for this evening. Seeing as that Gary sent me the link to the show, to the tracings. Tomorrow's Hangar Rash will start out with the tracings, if I can get it to work. We'll look at the tracings and discuss how the airplanes fly. And trust me, when I point this out to you, how these airplanes fly, you'll never look at airplanes again the same way. Everybody just thinks that they all fly great. They don't. You can see the weight, and I'll point it out right. I can tell you how much an airplane weighs by watching it fly pretty darn close. Because I've built all sorts of airplanes at different weights. And I can definitely tell you lighter is better, period. Doesn't matter what anybody else says. Lighter is better. And you can't make it too light. You probably could, but nobody's done it yet. So keep looking for lighter, lighter, lighter. And you'll be a whole lot happier. I'm not a real big guy. The scale says I weigh 170 now. I ain't buying it. 160 maybe. Anyway, you get a big stunt airplane in the wind on 18 thousandths wires because it's over 65 ounces. And some of them guys' airplanes are pushing 75 and 80 ounces. And the wind picks that baby up and starts whipping it. You better hold on because it really pulls. I mean, I'm strong enough to hold them, but it sure will pull you off balance. It'll pull me around the circle. So lighter is better. And that airplane there will do, and you can ask some of these guys that are on the chat, that airplane there, the Junar XL at 58 ounces, will do maneuvers into the wind. So if the wind's come blowing right straight in my face, I can do the maneuvers into the wind. It's already been proven at Brodax. And it's light. It's a light airplane, but 3 degrees motor offset, reasonable amount of line rake, no rudder offset. It's only sanded to an airfoil, and lightweight, big power, big pitch, lightweight. And my airplanes don't wind up either. Just for the simple fact the way I run the motors. Anyway, like, subscribe, share the videos. Look for me tomorrow and Hangar Rash. Might be late, pretty late, because I'll be driving. But look for the next Hangar Rash to include those videos of the tracings, if I can get it to work. So till I see you again, fair winds, tight lines. See ya.